I've had a couple of people reach out to me recently who have been stuck in golden handcuffs. They're earning a couple hundred grand a year, a few hundred grand a year in their career. They're very, very experienced and they want to make a transition into self-employment, starting their own business, but they're not quite sure where to start. I want to cover off a couple of quick tips that come from my second international best-selling book, Secrets to Scaling a Seven-Figure Lifestyle Business. If you want to grab all of those tips, feel free to jump in the link in my bio. It's also available physical copy on Amazon. So the biggest challenge that we've got when we're trying to get out of a corporate career, we're in these golden handcuffs because we're earning really good money. And of course, it takes us a while in order to grow and scale a successful business, or what people will lead you to believe. The biggest challenge that we've got to overcome is what I refer to as the J curve of exiting those golden handcuffs. There is never going to be a perfect transition from employment to self-employment. It is typically going to result in you having to make a decision to go all in on your business, and there's going to be a period of time where you may be earning less income than what you were earning in your job. It's just how things go. There are some circumstances where you can avoid this. It depends on your execution, and it depends on making sure that you get some of the foundational steps right. But let's say that you're a service business, you've got a skill set, you're very, very good at what you do, you're highly rewarded. The first step that you need to do is you need to create a value proposition, a financial model that is going to provide you with clarity around how you get to replacing your income at the first possible opportunity. So let's use round numbers here. Let's assume that you're earning $300,000 a year in your business, in your employment. We can do a couple of things. Well, you can charge $1,000 and you need 300 clients. You can charge $10,000 and you'll need 30 clients. You can charge $100,000 and you need 3 clients. And of course, you can have a lower ticket and have higher volume as well. Now, from my perspective, my view is that the easiest business to scale is a high ticket business. And what I mean by high ticket is that it's typically something that is priced at $5,000 or higher, and ideally much more than that. I want lifetime customer value or the 12-month customer value to exceed $10,000. The reason for this is because I've proven through selling things from 99 cents up to things to $100,000. I personally believe that if you've got a good sales system and you've got good positioning to the people that you're trying to target, it is actually no more difficult in order to sell something that is high ticket compared to something that is low ticket. In some cases, you actually need to be a better marketer in order to sell something that is low ticket because your margin for error is so low. For example, if you're selling something at $1, you might only be able to afford to spend 20 cents on acquiring that customer on the assumption that you're not going to sell them other stuff and you're using that as a loss leader, right? So from my perspective, minimum 5 grand, ideally 10, and that means that you need less customers and you actually don't need to be as good at marketing, okay? So I want you to decide on what you actually can sell, okay? And as a general rule of thumb, you want your thing that you are selling, your service that you are delivering, to provide a 2 to 4x return on investment for the person that is buying it. Now, you might rebuttal and say, oh, well, Jackson, what I do is qualitative. It's a nice to have. It's hard to define the value. Well, that's your first problem that you need to solve. You need to take that intangible value and you need to make it tangible and real, because in a capitalist system, people will pay anywhere up to the value that they perceive they are receiving. If that value is intangible and is open to interpretation, then your ability to position that value is going to be very, very difficult. The easier it is to position that value, then the more success you are going to have. We struggle with this for years. That I'm like, oh, I do so many things, and our primary offer being wealth, helping people create financial freedom. Well, it's like, oh, that's a nice to have. Sure, everyone wants to be wealthy and they want to create financial freedom, but for most people, that's a problem for like 5, 10, 15, 20 years time. And some dickhead is overtaking me at double the speed limit. Anyway, like, I'll deal with that later. I need to solve my first problem. So our whole value proposition evolved that if we want to work with business owners, we need to help them maximize their profit and build more personal wealth as a secondary part to maximizing their profit, because increasing their profit is going to allow them to draw more income, live a better lifestyle, buy back their time, and essentially outsource their problems. And by doing this is going to alleviate immediate issues that allow us to lay the foundation, right? And further to that, We aim to get our clients a 2 to 4x return on investment. So for example, if a client joins, say, our mastery program, which is about 30 grand a year, we want to make sure that we can deliver 120 grand a year of value as a result. So that paints a little bit of a picture for you, okay? Now, from there, you want to get clear on your positioning in terms of your target market. Now, you're going to have an inkling to want to try and help everyone, okay? You believe you can help everyone because everyone can benefit from your solution, but trying to help everyone will mean that you ultimately don't help anyone or very many people at all, because the more niche you are, the more you can talk to the specific pain points and problems of an audience, the more that they trust that you have the solutions to those problems, right? So niching can happen in one of two ways. Either you do a lot of things for one person. Okay, so for example, you are a marketing consultant for dentists. Marketing is broad and there's lots of stuff that you can do in terms of marketing. Dentists are pretty specific. You can even niche down further of dentists in Sydney, let's say. You can speak specifically to dentist problems, the issues they have, the challenges they've got in scaling their business, the challenges they have in finding new clients, so on and so forth. And the reality is that dentists, as soon as you start talking, hey, are you a dentist? If you're not a fucking dentist, you're not going to listen anymore, right? You're going to swipe past. So it allows us to target people and then develop a niche. The alternative is that you help a lot of people with one problem. So you become, say, a cash flow expert, or you have others, you specialize in one particular thing. This can be a little bit more challenging because you need people to identify based on the problem that they're experiencing. So you've got to be really good at communicating that problem. So let's say, for argument's sake, that you are you help people sleep better, okay? You need to ideally talk specifically to an audience. So you're like, okay, are you a young parent and you used to be full of bounds of energy and now you're having issues sleeping? Here's my top 3 tips, right? Once again, as you can see, from the positioning standpoint, it can be more challenging, but it means that your product and service delivery is more specialized, so it's easier to do it. Now, you can also do both of these things. You could be a sleep specialist for dentists, right? The important thing is that you need to just choose a niche that has enough capacity, keeping in mind, let's say you want to earn that 300 grand and you're going to charge 10 grand a year, you need 30 clients. There's definitely 30 dentists out there that are having issues with their sleep in that example, right? So that's basically the fundamentals. And then the last part that you need to get clear on is your sales system. So basically, what are you doing to appeal to these individuals, and what's your mechanism for getting them to put their hand up and have a conversation with you? 2, how do you seamlessly take them through understanding their problem, making sure they're a good fit, positioning your solution and getting a yes? And then obviously, how do you make sure that you can deliver on your promise that you make in that sales system? Once again, not necessarily a sales expert. However, in my second book, Secrets to Scaling a 7-Figure Lifestyle Business, I cover my own strategy that I've used to generate tens of millions of dollars in sales and scale an 8-figure business now. My business allowed me the opportunity to spend a year traveling around Australia in a 4-wheel drive. We've got over 1,000 clients now. I live up in Far North Queensland on my dream home, and I've got a lot of freedom and flexibility to live life on my own terms. And this is the idea of creating a 7-figure lifestyle business. You have a business that gives you freedom and flexibility and choice, but it also provides you with an abundance of financial means. And if you nail these things, you can transition from employment into a very successful business quite quickly. Video's a little bit longer than I was hoping, but I hope this is valuable. If you want those resources, click the link in my bio.